My name is Emily and I am the User Services Librarian here at VCSU. This video is going to give you a brief overview of how to use the library website to conduct research and also how to develop research topics. Now, before we get into the actual research process, we need to talk about creating a topic. Now, when you are creating a research topic, I always recommend using an upside down triangle or a funnel. So as you can see here on the screen, we have an upside down triangle. When you are developing your research topic, you want to start at the very top where it's the widest and then go down to narrow it down. So you'll start with a very broad topic at the top, then pick one single aspect out of that, put that in the next step down, pick one single aspect out of that, put that in the next step down, and so on and so forth until you have a narrowed down topic. To show you how that might look, we have the top topic is abnormal psychology. So abnormal psychology is such a broad concept that you can't write an entire paper just on that one topic. And so we need to narrow that down a little bit. And so from abnormal psychology, we choose depression. So that is just one single small aspect of abnormal psychology. From depression, because depression is it is smaller than abnormal psychology, but it is still quite a broad, large topic. And so we want to pick one aspect out of depression. And so I have on the screen here causes. So abnormal psychology, then we brought that down to depression, then we brought that down to causes of depression. And then even within that, we can narrow it down even further, and I put in seniors. So now we have our topic of abnormal psychology, then we have depression, then causes, then in seniors. So we're looking for causes of depression in seniors. And that's just one way how the upside down triangle to develop research topics might work. So now that we have our topic, we want to head over to the library website. So let's do that now. So here we have the wonderful library website. If you are not familiar with this website, you can get to it from library.vcsu.edu, but also if you're just on the main VCSU website, if you just scroll down to the bottom of the page, that library link will take you to our website. When you are looking for information for an assignment, you always want to start on the library website. The reason for this is that the information and the sources that you'll find through the library website are going to be just much more reliable and trustworthy than any information you would find through Google or on Wikipedia or on YouTube or anything like that. You'll always want to start on the library website because a lot of the sources here are peer-reviewed. If they're not peer-reviewed, they are scholarly and trustworthy, and so it is always good to start here. So just a brief overview of the library website. First thing I want to point out is this library chat button up here. Chat is currently offline, but when it is regular reference desk hours at the library, chat will be online and you can just send a message in and it'll pop up on my computer and I can help you out. This is a really good way to get just a quick answer if you're having any issues with finding sources, coming up with your topics, or citing your sources. Another thing that I want to point out is this bar right here, this search bar. So when you are looking for resources, a lot of the students I work with will often go straight to this search bar, put in their topic, and think that it's going to be perfect, amazing, and wonderful. But actually, this search bar is going to get you way too much results. And so let's put in our topic. Let's see how many results we get. Okay, so we have 77,307 results, which is way too many. The reason we have so many results is because we used the Search Everything tab. So when you are using the Search Everything tab, it'll look for every resource type and it'll also look for every resource type in every subject area. So these results are not specific to psychology. And yes, some psychology results are going to come up, but there's going to be a lot in this list that is not exactly what we're looking for. So as you go through the list, you can see under resource type, some 8,000 of these results are newspaper articles, which are not peer reviewed. And so that's definitely something you'll want to avoid. We have book chapters, we have market research, we have text resources, we have books. And so as you're going through this list, there'll be a lot of results clogging up the list that aren't necessarily relevant to how you're approaching the topic. And so I'm going to show you an easier way that'll save you time when looking for peer-reviewed articles. Instead of just clicking on this Search Everything tab, I would recommend going to the research guides. If you've never used the research guides before, they're a really great resource because they will tell you, based on the subject area you're searching within, what database you should be using. So based on our topic, if we go to the psychology research guide, this will tell us, now that we're in the research guide, these are the key resources for psychology, for the topic of psychology. And so there's several different databases that you could use. And now when you select one of these databases, there'll be only psychology related resources. And so this will just save you time in going through your results. So let me open one up. Now that we're on the psychology database, or one of our psychology databases, I would always recommend going to the advanced search, just because you can control the search a lot better if you do that. And I'm going to put in the same search topic, so causes of depression. And one really helpful tool with this research guide, this database, is when you're in the advanced search, you can narrow your results down based on age group. So if we put just causes of depression and then go under age group, and because we're focusing on seniors, we can click age 65 or up, and we'll even select age 80 and up so that we have both results. Then we don't even have to add the word seniors into our search term because all of our results are going to be focused on that age group. And then again, date range is very important when you're searching anything social science related, anything that's always evolving and being researched, and our understanding of that topic is always changing. So psychology is a really good example of why you want recent results, but also other topics that you might need recent results for are things like technology. If you're researching anything to do with technology, you're definitely not going to want anything more than 5 years old, because then it's going to get way too out of date. If you're researching anything science related, usually that's a general rule, is 5 years. So I'm going to choose a specific date range of January 1st, 2017 to January 30th, 2022, because that is when we are working on this. So if we hit search, we have just under 2,000 results. So 2,000 results is still a lot, but when you compare that to the 77,000 results that we had in the Search Everything tab, it's actually a pretty good number. From the results here, we can narrow that down even further along this left-hand side. I'm going to first narrow it down to scholarly journals. Only cut out a couple. And then from here, I'm going to narrow it down by subject. So narrowing it down by subject will take all of the results out of the list that aren't on that specific topic. So we're looking at causes of depression in seniors, but maybe we want to see how dementia plays a part in that. So we could click dementia and hit apply. And now we have 442 results. And then we can narrow that down even further. But for this video, I'm just going to leave it with what we have now. And then you can just go through the list and find the articles that you want. To access the full article, you can just hit this full text PDF, and then you can download the article. I would always recommend downloading the article just because when you are doing your search, you don't necessarily remember later on what exact keywords and what exact limiters you used. And so by narrowing your result, or by saving your results as you go, even if you don't necessarily end up using this article, it's good to have so that you don't have to try and re-find it at a later date. Back on the psychology research guide, you can see here, I selected only one of these databases. There's several listed here. The reason I only selected one is because that one is the one I would recommend for psychology. However, different databases have different results. And so if we were to do the exact same search in a different database, we'd get different results. And so if you do a search in a database and don't find exactly what you're looking for, that doesn't mean the information isn't out there. It just means that maybe you need to try a different database and they might have better results or better coverage on a certain subject area. So back on the library website, there is our contact information. So if ever you have any questions about finding your results, knowing where to look, knowing what keywords to use, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at the library because we're always available to help with any of that. But the last thing I want to leave you with is just to always remember to use the library website and not use Google or Wikipedia to find your results, because when you use the library website, you can narrow that down to peer-reviewed results, and that will just help you in finding more scholarly information than you would find elsewhere. But please do not hesitate to reach out to us at the library if you have any questions whatsoever about finding your results or knowing where to look or coming up with your research topics, because we'd be more than happy to help with any of that.